Hello everyone, this is Suyog. Welcome to my channel Learn Tableau with Suyog.
Also, please subscribe to my channel as I will be posting more videos like this one to help you build your interactive resume in Tableau Public and also help you learn Tableau one visualization at a time.
Let's start with managing our data sources. This is how I have structured my data for this timeline chart. Education/experience, start date, end date, and duration are required fields for this graph. I'm keeping institution and location here as I'll be using that for other graphs and filters for future videos. You can calculate duration here in the sheet itself. It's just like end date minus start date. Now I have connected my Google Sheet to Tableau. You can calculate duration in Tableau as well if you haven't done that in Google Sheet. Just create a calculated field. You can click on a small triangle near start date or end date and click on create calculated field. Rename the calculation to duration calculated and simply type the formula end date minus start date and click on apply and OK. As you can see, additional column is being created for this and showing similar values like we did in the Google Sheet. You can create calculated fields in Sheet View as well. For this, simply click on a small triangle in Data pane and create the same calculation which we did on Data Source View. You can see those calculated fields in Measure section and are shown with the prefix of equal sign. Prefix of equal sign indicates that it's calculated field. I'm going to delete those calculated fields since we already have duration calculated in Google Sheet. In order to create timeline chart, click on Education Experience and simply drag it and drop it on the rows. Similarly, drag and drop start date on columns. As you can see, start date is in blue. That means it's discrete. You can change it to continuous. Now you can drag duration and drop it on the size in marks card. Currently, as you can see, education/experience is not in chronological order. So to do that, you need to sort education/experience by a field in descending order and select a field name as end date and aggregation to maximum. As you can see, now it's sorted in chronological order. Now you may want to drag end date and start date to label in marks card to show labels in the graph. Again, change those to continuous. Since it's showing entire month name and year, it looks little crowded, isn't it? You may want to change date format for this end date and start date to custom and simply type
MMM space YY. So now it will show short name for month and only last two digits of year. If you want to create a reference line in this graph, then right click on the marks card and create a new calculation and type today, open bracket, close bracket, and change the type to continuous. In graph, right click on the axis and click on add reference line. You can keep the scope to per pane, change the value to newly created field, which is today, open bracket, close bracket, and change the label to value. It doesn't matter if you change the value maximum, minimum. Click on OK, and as you can see, a reference line is been added to the graph. Currently, it's showing month and year, but you can change that to show the exact date. You can change the label of the axis by right clicking on the axis and then edit the axis and change axis title to date. Lastly, you can rename the sheet as timeline. How you can add custom shapes or logos into Tableau. So basically, I am trying to create this visualization here. So let's get started. So for that, we're gonna use the same data which we used for timeline chart, and we will just create a new visualization in a new sheet. You can create new sheet by clicking on this icon here, and in this new sheet you can drag institution and company onto columns. So basically you just click on it and simply drag to columns. You might have noticed once you click on it, you will see that like these boxes become red, their outline is red. So those are the options you get where you can drag those select the dimensions. So I'm just going to put this on column here. I will just quickly format. So right now it's not like sorted in chronological order. So basically I can just click on the menu here and just click on sort, and here sort by, I can just say manual, and I can just simply drag ResMed Halifax on top. Then I will bring Dalhousie next to that, and I will bring Government College down to the bottom, and it will show in chronological order. In order to bring any shapes, I will bring the shape shelf in the marks card, and as you can see, by default it's showing like circles. I can choose like different shapes here, and in order to bring more shapes, like the custom shapes, so right now like it has very limited options, but you can always go onto Google and look for which logo you want to bring. So for example, I will just look for ResMed logo here and click on any image. I will click on save image as, and so once you like install Tableau in your documents folder, you should be able to see my Tableau repository folder, and in that my Tableau repository folder there is a folder called like shapes. You can select that and you can download that logo here.
and you can do the same for rest of the logos, whatever the logos you want to bring into Tableau. So I will do the same for this one. I'm saving into my Tableau repository and shapes. To save the image. So once you download all the images into the shapes folder, then you can come here and you can click on like reload shapes, and whatever images you put into that shape folder should automatically come here in the custom, and you can click on custom. So as you can see, you have like all the logos you just downloaded. In order to bring those logos here and assign to a particular company or institution, you need to drag and drop institution and company onto the shape shelf in marks card. So you can just click on it and simply drag and drop on shelf, and as you can see, it's automatically assigned to different shapes, and you can click on this icon and you can customize a particular icon to a particular company. So for example, here you can select the custom, you can click on ResMed and you can click on ResMed logo, you can click on Dalhousie, you can click on Dalhousie logo here, you can click on this Bioinformatics Institute of India, onto this logo, IBM to IBM, government college to government college. So you need to just hit apply, and all those icons are assigned to that particular company or institution. So in order to increase the size of those logos, just click on size card and just like drag the bar to the right and it will increase the size. Also, you can just simply drag this to down and it will show the logos. You can hide this card for now. So we're gonna rename the sheet to institution, click company, and we can simply hide this by right clicking on this header here and just like click on hide, and there you go, you successfully bring all the shapes and logos into Tableau. So since we're talking about bringing shapes and logos, we can quickly create this visualization as well of the tools. So I will show you very quickly. So in order to do that, we need to bring the like tools data in there. So in my Google Sheet, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add an extra tab or extra sheet, and I just rename this as tool, and I will input all my tools information here. I have added all my tools information here. So basically what it's saying is, during this experience as a data analyst, I use these tools
and what was the proficiency of those tools. So you must know the proficiency of each tool you use during any tenure. So in business, when I was a business analyst, I used these tools, and this was their proficiency. So it's pretty clear. So this is how the data is structured for this one. You can go back to Tableau, go to data source. So once the data source is refreshed, you can see the tool sheet which we just created has been added, and you can simply bring this new sheet here, and as you can see, Tableau has detected a common field or common identifier in between two sheets, and join that as a inner joint based on education and experience. So in order to create that visualization, again, you're gonna create a new sheet. Since we have the tools data, we can bring tools to columns. We're gonna follow the exact same steps which we did follow for institution and company in order to bring the logo. So what we did, we just go in here and bring the chef shelves into the marks card, and so here we did bring like custom shapes. And so what I did in chef folder, I created a subfolder called like tools, and I have already downloaded all the tools logo in here, as you can see. And so I'm going to bring all those logos here now by clicking like reload shapes. And once that's done, as you can see, there is a extra option now here appears for tools. And now I'm going to assign tools to that shape. Click on shape again, and you can select the tools. So you can identify each tool, and you're just gonna assign whatever the logo it belongs to. So for Cognos, I'm gonna select like Cognos logo. For Excel, I'm gonna select Excel. So I don't have any logo for CPU ontology software, so I'm just gonna leave it that way here. And I'm just gonna click on apply. And as you can see, we have all the logos applied to different tools here. And you can hide this card. You can simply click on this and hide fields labels. In the actual dashboard, I didn't show any names here, so in order to hide that, you need to click on like menu option here on the tools, and you can click you can unclick this one, show header, and it will only show the icons here. We can change the name of this to tool, and yeah, that's it. So you successfully bring all the custom shapes and logos into the Tableau.
How you can create a gauge chart, also known as a speedometer chart. So basically, in my interactive resume, we are trying to build this visualization right here. So let's get started. So for that, I'm gonna create a new sheet by clicking on this icon. In order to create this visualization, we're gonna use some maths. I know it sounds little intimidating, but don't worry, I will be providing all the formulas which I use for this visualization in the description of the video. So let's create some calculated fields first. So I'm going to click on this drop down here and click a calculated field. So first we're going to create a calculated field to normalize the proficiency. Whenever you are creating any calculated fields in Tableau, you can always check what those mean. So for example, like if you click on this, it will show what that formula is about, and it will have like little description, also like few examples. So this is done, so hit apply and okay. So we are trying to map all the proficiency of our tool on a graph in 180 degrees. So we need to create x coordinates and y coordinates, and also we need to define the angle. So first we will start with first we will create the angle calculated field. So we're gonna name this angle, and we just gonna use the calculated field which we just created, which is proficiency percentage, and we're gonna multiply this with 180 degrees. That's the angle we're gonna use, and we can just convert this to an integer by typing int and hit apply. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we need to plot this on x and y axis, so we need to create x coordinate and y coordinate for this. So let's create the x coordinate first. So this is the formula for the x coordinate. I know this looks intimidating. You don't need to go into detail about what's the maths behind this. You just need to know the formula, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna providing these formulas in the description of the video. So hit apply. We're also gonna create, so this is the formula for the y coordinate. Hit apply. Okay, I will quickly show you what exactly I did, and I will try to map this on sheet here. You don't need to do that. I'm just doing this to visualize. So basically what I did for the tools proficiency, I created a normalized value which is from 0 to 1, and I assigned that value x and y coordinates, and also give them a particular angle on 180 degree scale. So that's basically those calculated fields are. In the interactive resume, what I did, I give end users a parameter to select from. Basically it's a drop down. So next we're gonna create that drop down here, and for that we just gonna click on create a parameter, and we're gonna name this select a tool to know the proficiency, and we're gonna use this as a string, and we're gonna use the list, and we're gonna bring the list from the tools dimension. So you can click on this add from field, and you can select tools. So now you can see all your tools here, and it will be shown as in the parameter section. So we successfully created a parameter. Now we need to create x and y coordinates which needs to be changed by this newly created parameter. So you can modify this existing formulas, or you can create new one. I will just modify this one and click on the drop down menu here and click on edit, and I'm gonna add so x with parameter, and I'm gonna just add one quick if statement here. So basically I have added this if statement here. If the tool is whatever we select in this newly created parameter, then calculate the x coordinate of that. Do the same thing for y as well. So we apply. So now we're gonna plot the graph. So for this we're gonna bring the x with parameter on columns and y with parameters on 2 rows. Gonna bring the tools, and here we need to change the x and y parameters to compute using not table across but to tools, and we're gonna do the same for y parameter compute using tools. And instead of showing it circle, we're gonna click on line, so this will act as a pointer in our speedometer chart. So now we're gonna bring the background image to this speedometer chart. So you can Google for any speedometer chart image and you can simply download that as an image. And here, in order to bring that image into Tableau, you just need to click on map and click on background images, click on this timeline, and you can click on this add image. You need to browse the image from your PC. This is the image I just downloaded, and here for the X field we need to give it like the right position. So here for the left minus 0.5, and for the right 2.5, and for the Y with parameter the bottom would be 1 and the top would be 2.5. I'll be providing all these details as well in the description of the video. You just hit apply. Okay. In order to match with the image we just bring in, we need to adjust our axis. So you can right click on the x-axis and click edit axis, and here the range should be fixed, and we can select the same which we selected for the image, which is you wanna start at minus 0.5 and the end should be 2.5. We're gonna do the same for y-axis as well. Right click on y-axis, edit the axis, do the fixed, the start would be at 1 and here end at like 2.5. Now our image and axis and everything is mapped very good. So now we need to show the parameter control so the end users can select a particular tool. So to do that, you can right click on a parameter, or you can simply click on this drop down here and you can click on show parameter control. In order to bring all the custom shapes to this visualization and also added the labels, we need to continue editing this. So for that you may want to bring y with parameter to rows again, and what it does is basically it created two duplicated graphs here, and you can combine. So basically we have like a x-axis in common and we have like two y-axis, so you can combine two y-axis so it will show the one visualization. To do that, you can click on this drop down here and you can click on dual axis. So now it's only one visualization with two axes in the same. So you can simply click on uncheck this show header here. You may want to do the same for x and y axis as well. Just right click on it and uncheck the show header. So now I don't want to see anything on color, so I will just remove this measure names from color. And here you may have noticed, like, since we have two axes on the row here, we have like two different cards here for y with parameters. So I'm gonna do the same for other one as well, remove the measure names from the color. And here you may have noticed like it's not aligned with the other one because we haven't change this to compute using a tool, it's still doing table across. That's why you are seeing a different line here. You can do that. Tools here, still you are seeing these two distinct pointers. So the reason is this newly created y parameter is not matching with this existing y parameter, and to do that you can just simply click on this y parameter and you can click on synchronize axis, and now both the axes are synchronized, and you can right click on it and uncheck the show header. So now we can bring tools to label. Now it will show whatever the tool you selected on top here. Also you can bring a proficiency on a label here, and you can simply select average, and you can format the number by clicking the drop down here, click on format and select a standard number. Also you can bring the proficiency percentage, and you may want to convert that to a percentage. Also instead of line here you can bring the shapes card and bring the tools to shape, and that will bring the customized icons which we downloaded and bring those into Tableau in the previous video. You can increase the size. So in order to edit those labels, you can click on label and click on this three dots here, and here and you can just type tool name is equal to tools proficiency percentage is equal to, and you may want to change the color to red. And hit apply, and now you can see it here. It's nicely formatted, and you can change the alignment to show it on top. As you can see, when you select Excel, which proficiency is like 10, and you kind of like losing the logo here since the image is like very tight. You can change the y coordinates and you can bring this image a little up. So to do that, you can click on this y width parameter drop down here, and you can click on show header. You can right click on it and you can say edit axis, and here instead of starting at 1 you can click on maybe 0.9, and again hide this one. So here you may notice this like dotted line. You can get rid of those by clicking format. Here if you click on the lines, then you will see those are like 0 lines, and you can click none, and there you go. Now you don't have that line anymore here. So we're gonna change the name. There you go. We successfully created a gauge chart. So far we have learned how to create institution oblique company, timeline, tools, and also a speedometer chart. In this video I will show you how you can create this responsibility and location visualizations. We'll start with responsibilities. For that, in my Google Sheet I'm gonna add one more sheet by clicking on this plus icon. I'm gonna rename this to responsibilities. In this sheet I have mentioned all my roles and responsibilities during each tenure. Now let's connect this to Tableau. So In order to bring that, you can go to any visualizations you created and you can right click on this data source and you can click on refresh. Once the data source is refreshed, you can go back to data source, and as you can see, the responsibilities tab is showing up here. So you simply drag and drop that sheet here. So Tableau automatically join that sheet to timeline, and it will be based on this education and experience common field. So in order to create that responsibility table, just click on this icon here and create a new sheet. So here you can simply bring responsibilities to the rows from responsibility sheet. In the data, we have all the responsibilities as bullet points, but as you can see, those bullet points are not shown here. But if you hover around, you can see all those bullet points are showing here. So in order to show those all bullet points in one cell, you can simply click on this and drag down, and yeah, as you can see, all the bullet points in one cell. So we're going to rename this, and there you go, you successfully created responsibility table. I will show you how you can filter only the relevant responsibilities when you select a company or institution in my interactive resume, but I will cover that when I put together in dashboard. So now let's create location visualization. For that, simply I will create a new sheet by clicking on this plus icon. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that the location should be categorized as geographical data, but here Tableau has categorized this as a string. So you can change that by clicking this drop down and assign a geographic role, this location, to a city. So with this change, you might have noticed the Tableau has auto generate a latitude and longitude. So you can simply bring the longitude to column and latitude to the row. And this will create a map. So you simply drag location to the label, and it should show all the locations on a map. So here Halifax is only showing on the map, and you can see there are like 3 unknown cities. It's not, Tableau is not able to recognize those cities. So if you click on this 3 unknown, then you will get like 3 options here. Either you can edit those locations manually, or you can filter that data from the Tableau, so it will just not consider those. So Tableau will not consider those cities in the visualization. And the third option is show the data at default position. So it will show all those cities at a island called a null island. So if you click on this, as you can see, it's been showing somewhere in the sea. So this is the null island, but you don't want to see those cities on a null island. You want to see those cities to its proper location. So you need to edit these locations. And here the reason it's only recognizing Halifax as a city is by default it's taking country and region as Canada. So you can simply click on none, and now as you can see, it's recognizing all the 3 cities from India, and it's not now recognizing Halifax. So to fix that, you can simply click on this drop down and enter a latitude and longitude for Halifax. I will just Google that. Simply click OK. And now, as you can see, all the cities are showing to its proper location. And then there you go, you successfully created a location visualization. So now we have finished creating all the visualizations which are needed to create an interactive resume. So in next video I will show you how you can put together all those created visualizations into a dashboard, and how you can format your dashboard, and how you can make it interactive. And also I will cover how you can insert hyperlinks to your dashboard. So let's try to create a dashboard which will look like this in Tableau. For that, you need to click on this new dashboard icon here. As you can see, the layout of this dashboard page is little different than what we used to see in the sheet level. And you can see different options here which were not there on the sheet level. And you can see all the sheets you created on here. In dashboard pane, you will see this device preview option. So if you click on this, you will get an option to select different devices like desktop, tablet, phone, etc. So depending on your audience, you can choose which layout you want to use for your end users. But for this dashboard, I'm not going to select any particular one, and I'm just going to do the manual. So here in the size section, you can actually select a size for your dashboard, and in most of my dashboards I start with automatic. And so that means, like, once you start bringing your visualizations into dashboard, the dashboard will automatically adjust to whatever sheets you are bringing in. In object section, you will have these options you can bring to the dashboard. And also here you can see there are like two options, one is tiled and one is floating. So here tiled means basically when you start bringing your sheets here, it will automatically adjust the size of each based on the space available within the dashboard. But if you do the floating one, then you can manually adjust the size of each. So for this dashboard, mostly I'll be doing floating. So I will just simply click on floating and I will start bringing the sheets to the dashboard. In my dashboard, I do have like institution and company on the top here, so I'll bring that first. So since I'm doing the floating, I can like place anywhere and I can manually adjust. And in order to fit everything on this, you can just simply click on this drop down here, and you can just click on entire view, and now this will adjust whatever size you have selected for this one. So you can simply place anywhere you want. So I will keep this one here for now, and you can further adjust the size. So next visualization I will bring will be the timeline. So I can simply bring here. I will keep the same size as institution and company. I can manually adjust those visualizations, and for this one I can simply do the same thing. Drag this down. Later I will bring the tools. So when you bring the tools, as you can see, it also brings the filter. So in the tools visualizations, we do have the filters applied. So when you drag any visualizations to your dashboard, it also brings the filters as well. You can simply click on this X to get rid of that filter, and you can manually adjust this one, and you can do the same thing to fit it in the entire view. Now I'm gonna bring the location, and I will bring the responsibilities here, and lastly I will bring the speedometer chart here. And as you can see, it also brings parameter as well. Now we will work on some formatting. So here in the responsibility, a duplication of the title, so you can simply click on this title and say like hide title. So in my interactive resume I'm not showing any title here, so we can simply get rid of that as well. Hide title. You can always click on this presentation mode button here, and you can take a look how your dashboard is gonna look like when you do the full screen. So far, like, looks like I have some space here. I can adjust this filter. So here in my resume I do have this a quick summary and my name. So in order to bring that, you can simply bring a text object here, and you can simply type your name, and also you can bring the text one more time, and you can simply write your summary here and click OK. You can adjust those. So in order to bring a photo, you can simply click on this image. Either you can put a image URL here, or you can choose an image from your PC. I will just simply choose an image. So I'm gonna select this image. I'm gonna hit OK, and simply you can adjust the size of your image, and simply you can place it anywhere you want. By using exactly the same method, you can bring all the logos in Let's Connect section, but if you do that, you will not be able to add action to those images. So for example, if you bring the LinkedIn logo, then you might want end users to click on that logo and take them to a LinkedIn website. So if you bring the images, then it will not work. So you may want to create like new sheets. For that purpose, you can simply click on this plus icon to create a new sheet and rename this as LinkedIn, since we are trying to bring the LinkedIn logo in this, and create a calculated field called LinkedIn. Simply type 0, hit apply, OK, and now bring the shape card and bring the newly calculated field on a shape card. Click on shape card and select the shape palette as custom. Select this number, select LinkedIn, hit apply, OK. You can increase the size from either here, or you can simply drag this down to increase the size. And you can do the same for Tableau Public profile as well. Simply rename this sheet as Tableau Public, create a calculated field, rename that as a Tableau Public. Simply type 0, hit apply, OK. Bring the Tableau Public to the shape card, click on shape, select the shape palette as custom, select 0, and then select the Tableau logo here, hit apply, OK. Now in our dashboard, as you can see, there are like 2 additional sheets here. You can bring make sure you selected floating here, and you bring those 2 visualization to our dashboard, and simply click on this, the entire view, and adjust this. You don't need to see a title for this one because the logo is sufficient. So you can right click on this and simply click on hide title, so it will only show the logo. Do the same for Tableau Public as well. So for sake of time, I am only doing these two logos here, but you can do the same things for your other logos in Let's Connect section. In my interactive resume, I do have a photo and Let's Connect section here on the left hand side. We can simply do the same formatting for this one. So I will make this one short. I will bring those logos down here and bring the picture here. Now I can increase the size a little bit, and I can add one more text box here which will say let's connect, apply. In your interactive resume, you may want to uniform all the text. For example, in the Let's Connect section, if you are using a Tableau book font and if you are using a 9 as a size, so you may want to do that for other titles as well, so, and also for other text as well, so it will look uniform. For sake of time, I'm not going to do that. Now let's format the background of this dashboard. So in order to show an uniform background color, you can simply click on this format drop down, click on dashboard, and here for the dashboard shading you can select the color whichever you think is appropriate. You can close this one. Here in speedometer chart, you may have noticed that there is a logo at the center, but you may want to show only the logo end users have selected. So in order to get rid of that, you can simply bring an image by double clicking on this. You can choose the image from your PC. I will choose this information button here. You can resize it, and you can simply put this image on top of the logo at the center. I will just quickly check if everything is looking good by doing a full screen here. It looks like everything is good. So now basically our formatting is done, but our resume is not interactive. For example, like if I click on anything, it's not filtering or highlighting any of the other visualizations. Also, if you click on this LinkedIn logo, it's not taking you directly to your LinkedIn profile. So in order to make this interactive, we need to add some actions to this dashboard. So how you can do that? You can simply click on this dashboard menu here and click on actions, click on add action. Here for timeline visualization, I would like to add an highlight action, so you can simply click on this. So here in source sheet, you can only keep institution and public company checked, and in the target sheet you may want to select only the timeline chart because that's the part you want to highlight, and make sure you run this action on a select command. So hit OK, and as you can see there is an action added to this dashboard. You can click OK to check if it's working the way you want. So if I select now on ResMed, it's highlighting the period which I work for ResMed. That means it's working. So let's add more actions. Do the same thing, go to the dashboard menu, click on actions, and I would like to add filter action on tools, location, and responsibility visualization. So I will simply click on filter, and again only select institution of the company as a source sheet and make sure I have this on select, and in the target sheet I will keep the tools. Hit OK. Now we're gonna add more filter action for location. Do the same steps. Make sure it's select. And lastly, I will do that for responsibility. Hit OK. So we will test if it's working or not. So if I now select ResMed, it's highlighting this period in timeline, also filtering out the tools and responsibilities and location as well. If I click on IBM, then it's, yeah, everything is filtering. So now it's interactive. Here, in order to add a hyperlink, go to the dashboard menu, add action, click on add action, and click on this go to URL. Click on this and only select the LinkedIn. Copy your LinkedIn URL and simply paste it here in the URL section. Hit OK. Add one more hyperlink for your Tableau profile by doing the same steps. Go to URL and select only Tableau Public here in the source sheet. Also make sure you have this on select. I will copy my Tableau Public URL and simply paste it here. Hit OK. Just make sure that everything is on select. For here for my LinkedIn it's on menu, so I will quickly edit that. Click on select. OK. Hit OK. Now we will test if our hyperlinks are working or not. So if you click on this, it should take you directly to your LinkedIn profile, and there you go. Also click on this Tableau Public and it is taking you to your Tableau Public profile. This concludes all the formatting of the dashboard. So before we publish this to Tableau Public, you may want to hide all the sheets because you don't want to publish all the sheets with the dashboards. You may want to keep only the dashboard, and you can rename this dashboard as interactive resume, and you can right click on this dashboard sheet and you can hide all sheets, and now it's only showing you one dashboard. So let's publish this to Tableau Public. So click on file and save to Tableau Public, or you can also do like save to Tableau Public as. I will just click on this save to Tableau Public. It will show you a sign in window here. If you haven't created a Tableau Public profile, then you need to create one. It's free. So I will log in with my credentials here. It's publishing the views, and it should show your published dashboard on Tableau Public here. You may want to edit some details here. You can change the title or you can add the description here. The one thing I will make sure that it's unchecked. If I check this one, that means like I am giving permission to download this as a workbook, which I don't want. There you go. You successfully created and published your interactive resume on Tableau Public. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.